Good morning, bonjour, bonjour. Today is Mother's Day. It is May 14th, 2023, and I have been challenged to do a video. I was thinking about doing a video. I was going to put out my old videos for Mother's Day, but I have different perspectives of these holidays now because I've done a lot of research, and once you know the truth, it's kind of hard to go back because I don't believe in any holidays now because they all have pagan roots tied to them. So I don't want to celebrate anything negative. I don't want to celebrate anything that has evil roots attached to it. So today, just to give you an example, I am just very thankful. I think parents should be respected and loved and treated how you want to be treated every day. Every day. There shouldn't be a day on the calendar reminding us that you should respect and love your parents. I believe we should only be following the Bible, and that is one of the commandments. Honor thy father and mother. Anyway, for me, Mother's Day is not so bad. I'm in New Cahiva, and as you can see in the background, this is the beautiful views that I wake up to every day. So I'm very blessed. But today, I think I'm going to put a spin on this video. This is going to be for the alienated children and the position that they're in. So I want to explain it to the targeted parent because some people are new to parental alienation. Some people are just in the beginning of this. And then there's other people like myself that have been through severe parental alienation where it's been over a decade now and I haven't seen or heard my children. But I can tell you deep down, your children love you. They had to make a choice when they were a child. And or maybe they were an adult. I'm not really sure. In my situation, they were young teenagers, which was the perfect age to brainwash them because their minds weren't completely developed yet. It's an impressionable age, and they ended up choosing the fun parent, the parent that drinks with them, the parent that parties with them, the parent that will never hold them accountable for their actions, compared to a parent that gave them love, gave them structure, and gave them intuition. I was trying to teach my kids survival. I was trying to teach my kids basic skills so that they can grow up and be independent. And I was labeled and hammered as only by my ex, as a, what did they call me? Militant. My ex called me a militant because I made my kids brush their teeth, make their bed, and take out their trash. Meanwhile, other parents were saying I wasn't tough enough, so it's kind of funny. Anyway, for the child, I just want to say this is not your fault. You should never be in the middle of a divorce. And this really, a lot of it doesn't even have to be involved around a divorce. This is narcissistic people that are surrounding you. And you have to really look at the people that you're around, if they're cheering you on or if they are bringing you down or making fun of your beliefs, your ideas. My family really gave me a hard time. I mean, I just always shook it off like I grew up in a sarcastic family. But no, I was the one that was always teased. And I guess deep down I didn't like it, but I dealt with it. It was unreal. But, I was teased. I was too skinny. I had blonde hair. I had space in between my teeth. I had to get braces. I don't know. It's just your family should be the ones that are supporting you and loving you and pushing you to be the best that you can. But they should have structure, hold you accountable for any negative actions that you have done, because nobody is perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. And nobody should judge anyone. The only one that has the power to judge is the man above. Anyone that judges you, I would turn around and be like, who are you to judge me? You know what I mean? Sort of like in the Bible, who's going to throw the first stone to the woman that committed adultery? If nobody else committed a sin, Jesus put him on the spot. So anyway, for the alienated child, number one, it's not your fault. Number two, you were put in a very, very tough position. Number three, most children will align with the abuser. How do I say this? They're going to align with the abuser because it's the easier way to live. And you're trauma bonded to that parent. So like in my own situation, my mother-in-law had some kind of childhood trauma, which carried on into my ex's life. And my ex had a love-hate relationship with his mom. Like, he would tell me every time she would call that he didn't want to pick up the phone. He couldn't stand talking to her because she was an alcoholic. She was drunk most of the time and would cry on the phone and just demand things. So he wouldn't want to pick up the phone. But now he's living with her as a grown man. He's 60 years old. So it's the trauma bonding is generational. So not only did his mother do that to him, he's doing it to our children. My children are trauma bonded to their father. Their minds split at 10, 12, 14, and 16 because they went into survival mode. So if you, the child, don't really do your due diligence and research trauma bonding, God, there's so many things you could research. The narcissistic personality disorder. I can tell you right now, the parent that you are with is the one that is lying to you. The one, think about it. If that parent treated their mother of their children, or vice versa, this could be, I'm not being biased, then that parent is the one that has the trauma issues that have not been resolved yet. So you need to be the bigger person and get yourself out of this trauma bond. And do not get married or even be in a relationship until you resolve this, because then you are setting yourself up for a lot of pain, because I was, I guess, a bad role model, because I sat there in that relationship for over 19 years. I was 20 years with this man, and I should have left when my son was about 5 years old. I should have left. All my kids were born at the time, but I should have left at that point, and I didn't. I stayed an extra 14 years, and I didn't understand what was going on with the chaos going on in my life. But for the alienated children, you really need to take a step to heal yourself. And I would advise you to reach out to that parent that you haven't spoken to in years. Think about it. What is the real reason you're not talking to them? What is your excuse? Do you even have one? Or did somebody feed you lies and you believe these lies and they aren't truth. Did you ever confront that parent that you alienated? Did you ever ask them what their side of the story is? Because if you didn't, then you don't know the truth or the whole truth. The other thing is you weren't a witness to anything. Anything. This is between your mother and your father. That's it. You'll never know the truth. Only those two people were witnesses. Nobody else was. You might have heard yelling in the background or verbiage or you might have heard things, but you were too young to understand anything. I know this is getting longer than I wanted to, but I highly recommend you don't waste any more time. You reach out to that parent that you haven't spoken to, give them a call, write them a letter, whatever you're comfortable with, and find out their version. Find out what their side of the story is, and then you make a decision on what you want to believe or what you remember. Because a lot that you were told is not true. I'll give you an example. My kids, my daughter had reached out by email, and I responded by email, but I don't know if my email she actually read or if my ex took it and changed the words. Because when she sends an email back, it doesn't make any sense at all. Saying that I said all these mean things and I'm selfish and blah, 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 blah. And it is just unbelievable because the alienator goes to all these lengths to control the children and anyone in their lives. He controls their friends. He controls the fiancés. He controls, he'll control the grandchildren. And I don't know how these people live or have time to think and mastermind all this, but that's what they do. They don't have, the alienator has no friends. He keeps them partying and you know, on the outside it looks like they're having a lot of fun, but they're all drinking and they don't have clarity. They're doing drugs, and that's how he can manipulate them. Because they don't have clarity. They don't have their own cognitive thinking. And he creates businesses for these people, roofing business, that they all, you know, these kids have nothing to do with roofing. But all my neighbors' kids, they have roofing companies. My daughter's fiance has a roofing company. This is total control. But yet they'll say, I was the bad parent. I was the one that was a militant. And meanwhile, he watches all their social media. He knows every single text and picture that goes through their phones. My kids don't have anything on their own. It is bought and owned by my ex, or he shareholds everything. Or partnerships, everything. Anyway, this is way too long. I just hope that these children, adult children, wake up to the alienation, reach out to the parent that they haven't spoken to, and resolve it themselves. You don't need a therapist. You just need to love one another and to be honest with one another. If you're not honest, if you tell one little lie, it's not going to work. It'll crumble. No exaggerations, no lies. It won't work. So please, please reach out to your loved ones, to the rejected parent before it's too late. Because if they die and you didn't reach out, you're going to have regrets the rest of your life, because you will figure it out once you have kids and you're older, and or maybe you won't figure it out until you have your own grandkids and it happens to you. But I pray that this doesn't happen to anybody, because this is domestic family terrorism. All right, I've been way too long and I'm babbling, so I hope you guys have a nice day. I've been blessed, and I'm just going to get some work done and kind of enjoy my surroundings, my environment. God bless. Always, always choose love over hate and compassion over judgment. And please subscribe to my channel, Love Dominates, on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. And I will be starting, hopefully, my Patreon page of Agape Love Dominates. And I also had the rally up going for Agape Love Challenge. If everybody could do an act of kindness, this will be awesome. I want it to spread like wildfire, around the world. Because if we want to conquer this evil, we got to spread more love. That's how simple it is. All right. God bless. Love y'all. Sending you agape love from Nukahiva.